Hi everyone. So sometimes I get asked questions not just about investing but also banking, especially from expats. So what are the advantages of banking offshore? Now to start with, there are certain people who probably shouldn't bank offshore. For example, American expats. There's a lot of tax reasons why even getting a current account doesn't make sense. But first of all, we should say, what is offshore banking? Now, offshore banking just means banking in a country outside of your country of residence. In other words, if you are a British person living in Dubai and you are banking in the UK, you are doing offshore banking. If you bank in Germany and you live in the UK, that's offshore banking. So it just means banking outside of your country of residence. A lot of people think it's linked to tax evasion, tax avoidance. That might have been the case in the 1980s, 1990s, and so on. But these days, tax information is shared between, especially developed countries. There's numerous rules, CRS and other things from the OECD. So it's not about tax evasion and tax avoidance. But the following things really, I would say, are the main advantages of doing it offshore. I mean, number one, if you're an expat and you've been sent to, say, a part of the world which is a little bit dangerous or not very developed when it comes to banking, for example, you work in oil and gas or another area where you're sent to some places like Azerbaijan or places which don't have a very developed banking system, it is much safer to actually bank with, say, a British bank which is based in the Isle of Man or a similar jurisdiction. Number two, often investment choices, and indeed sometimes you can actually have loans linked to the account. Number three, and this is a big one, is also it gives you the opportunity to have a Visa or Master debit or credit card. I remember when I lived in China and it was incredibly difficult to get any card which wasn't Union Pay. So I can remember when I used to travel overseas, I would need to literally send money using a Chinese person because it was very restrictive for a foreigner to send RMB out of the country. I would have to use a Chinese friend to send money to my British card whenever I wanted to travel overseas before I did offshore banking. Now that's changed a little bit because Union Pay is used more widely around the world now. But the point is, when you're offshore, sometimes getting a debit card, especially a credit card, is very difficult. So if you can get a credit card, whether it's in your home country or an offshore jurisdiction, that's a huge benefit. Okay, everyone, there's also a few more benefits to offshore, but I would suggest you click on the article below to see some of those benefits. I would say one of the few negatives though about the offshore process is that it does sometimes take a long time to open up new bank accounts. Having said that, these days open up bank accounts all around the world can be a time-consuming process because of money laundering and so on. Okay, everyone, I hope that video was useful.